For my constellation project, I'm doing Centaurus. Centaurus was named after Chiron, who was a centaur, which is a Greek mythology creature. He was very wise, and he taught Hercules and Jason. You can find it between the latitudes 30 and negative 90 degrees. The bright stars in the constellation are Regal, Centaurus, which is the foot of the centaur, Agena, and Menkent, which is the shoulder of the centaur. It is made up of 11 stars, which is mostly yellow, white, and blue-white. Here's my myth. One day there was a very wise scientist. He did many experiments on animals. He always mixed animal species together like a duck and a beaver. Most experiments worked, but some caused a big destruction. But he always solved the problem. One day everything was going wrong. None of his experiments were working. He was getting very frustrated. He was so frustrated that he just threw what he was working on the ground. A burst of smoke came up and bam! He had a horse bottom and a man's top body. He went frantic, neighing and screaming. He was doing every experiment there was. Nothing was working. So he called a witch, and once the witch saw him, she freaked out and flew away. He called a wizard. All the wizard did was look at him and fainted. The scientist only had one thing left to do. Call his mom. What was he going to say? What was she going to say? Was she going to be mad? All these questions went through his head. This was when his mother walked into the room. All she said was, "What have you been doing, son?" His mother got straight to work on everything she could. When nothing worked, she told him the only thing he could do to face the fact that he will be like this probably forever. He just lived his life normally until he had to go outside. It was the worst thing he had ever experienced. Once he stepped outside, people stared, and not just stared, they gave him weird looks. So he hurried back inside. He took a deep breath and went back outside. But the minute he got out there, people started attacking him. He got so scared, he galloped away as fast as he could. He just kept galloping until he couldn't gallop anymore. When he stopped, a tunnel of glowing light showed up. He hesitated but went toward it. When he went through, on the other side, there was the one and only Zeus. Zeus saw how much pain he was in and asked him if he wanted to get out of all this pain or live. He said he wanted to get out of this pain. So Zeus did his magic and the scientist disappeared. And when you look up into the sky, you can see the scientist. And this is my works cited.